She called 911 on me right at my own ranch gate, never suspecting the call would go straight to my wife, the county sheriff. I hadn't set out to spark a feud that morning, but when a neighbor turns your private driveway into their battleground, you quickly see who's ready to bend the truth and who's rooted in facts. I kept my cool. She ramped it up, and that single call unleashed a storm far bigger than a simple trespass. If you've ever faced down someone who thinks rules don't apply to them, you know how these things can spiral into lies, threats, and a fight for what's rightfully yours. The gravel crunched under tires like nails on a chalkboard that crisp Montana morning. I stepped out with my coffee mug still steaming, spotting a sleek black sedan parked crooked across my wooden gate, blocking it tight. The early sun glinted off its polished hood, and I knew trouble had arrived. Margaret Voss was at it again. She burst out of the car, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the frame. "Jack Harlan," she barked, like she was handing down a sentence. "You're blocking a public right-of-way. It's a private ranch road." I replied evenly, same as always. "The sign's clear, private. The gate's locked, private. County records back it up, private. That's your take," she shot back, striding toward me in pumps better suited for boardrooms than dusty trails. She jabbed a finger at the gate. "This path cuts through whispering pines. It's community access." "Community stops at my fence," I said. Her face twisted, not in shame, but rage. Rage that her HOA title, her clipped badge, held no sway here. She spun, yanked her phone out, and brandished it like a weapon. "Fine. If you're going to be difficult, I'll let the authorities sort you out. Maybe you'll listen to them." I didn't budge, didn't yell. Years of handling land squabbles teach you that calm unnerves folks like Margaret more than anything. She dialed 911, speaking loud enough for the birds to hear. "Yes, I'm on a public road, and this man's obstructing me. He's threatening. I feel unsafe." Her voice quavered just right, rehearsed. She paused, eyeing me for a reaction. None came. "He's refusing to move. Yelling. Getting aggressive. Send help quick." I hadn't uttered a word since she started dialing. She hung up, straightened her blouse, and smirked. "You've really stepped in it now, Mr. Harlan." "Have I?" I asked mildly. "Oh yes. We document this kind of thing. It gets folks like you fined, maybe even evicted." Evicted? From my grandfather's ranch, with its old water rights and history she couldn't grasp. She tapped her foot, arms crossed. "They'll be here soon. Hope you're prepared." I leaned on the gate, waiting. No panic, just quiet. She cracked. "Why are you so smug? You know they'll side with me." I almost pitted her blind faith in a system she didn't truly know. Then, an engine hummed in the distance. Not sirens, just steady approach. Dust kicked up behind a sheriff's SUV rolling up my road. Margaret puffed up, fixing her hair. The vehicle stopped, door opened. Polished boots hit the ground, then sunglasses, badge gleaming. And that voice made her smirk fade. "Jack? You all right?" I nodded. "Morning, Emily." Margaret's head snapped back and forth. "What?" "Hold on." Sheriff Emily Harlan, my wife, emerged fully, her presence commanding. Margaret stammered. "But you can't." Emily ignored her at first, checking me over. Then she turned. "Ma'am, you reported a threat. Before we go further, note this gate has live cameras." She pointed to the post. "I've reviewed the feed." Margaret paled. The SUV ticked as it cooled. Everything stilled. Emily arched a brow. "Care to amend your statement?" Margaret swallowed. In that frozen moment, I sensed this was no mere spat. It was the crack in something much deeper. Margaret stood rooted, one hand on her hip, phone clutched like a lifeline. The poise she'd stormed in with, the kind she used to nitpick neighbors' fences and lawns, drained away as Emily advanced. My wife didn't hurry, didn't raise her voice or flash authority. She moved like a seasoned sheriff closing in on a fib she already had proof against. "Ma'am," Emily said, halting close. "Describe the emergency exactly." Margaret blinked fast. I told dispatch. This man was hostile. Blocking public access." Raised his voice. "I heard the call," Emily said flatly. "And saw the footage." She nodded at the camera. "You approached his property. Blocked his gate. He didn't advance, threaten, or shout. You filed a false report." Margaret's mouth gaped. "Footage? You weren't supposed to." Emily tilted her head. "I'm who gets 911 calls in this county. You didn't call the police. You called me." Margaret stumbled back, nearly tripping. "I didn't know who you were." "Clearly," Emily replied. I stayed by the gate, silent. The power had flipped the instant Emily arrived. Margaret scrambled. "He provoked me. Wouldn't move his truck. I walked here," I said. Emily nodded. "And you claimed he blocked the public easement." She pointed to the sign, "Private Ranch Road." "This is private. Records confirm it." "Well, maybe the records are outdated," Margaret cracked. I huffed in disbelief. Emily recited law like scripture. False 911 is a misdemeanor. If it ties up resources, felony. Trespass on AG land too, plus lying to an officer. I didn't lie. Margaret snapped, too sharp. Emily tapped her tablet, rewinding feed. Margaret's recorded voice echoed, threatened, yelling, blocking public road. Camera showed me still, hands pocketed. Margaret blanched like old newsprint. "You can't use that against me," she whispered. "It's evidence," Emily said. "You made it." Margaret trembled. "I didn't know it was on." "Always is," I said. Emily shut the tablet. "Cooperate, or we cite you formally." Margaret's shoulders jerked. "Cite me? I'm a taxpayer. HOA president." "Which means you should know better," Emily said. "Your HOA ends at the subdivision line. Margaret stared, stunned. No. Victor said this road's ours. In review. Emily's interest flickered. Victor who? Margaret clammed up, but the slip hung heavy. Emily straightened. I'm issuing a warning for trespass and false claim. Next time, charges. Margaret shook her head. You can't. I'm on the board. Precisely, Emily said. I watched closely. Margaret's panic wasn't just error. It was fear of exposure for someone else. Emily handed the warning. Margaret took it shakily. This isn't done, she hissed. Emily met her gaze. It will be if you stay away. Margaret slammed into her car, reversed wildly, dust swirling like a fleeing ghost. Once gone, Emily exhaled, turning to me, edges softening. You good? Fine. You. She shrugged. She's not one to quit. No, I agreed. Emily read my tension. More than trespass, huh? I stared down the road. Too desperate for a shortcut. Emily holstered her tablet. I'll check HOA records. Let's stay ahead. I nodded, gut nodding. She wasn't finished. And neither were we. 2 days of quiet felt heavier than the clash. When pushers like Margaret go silent, they're plotting. The first sign came Wednesday. Mailman handed me an envelope, no return. Whispering Pines HOA. Official. I ripped it open, typed, no greeting. Mr. Harlan, your gate obstructs community traffic. Remove it for safety and flow. Cooperation expected. Expected. I folded it, the word stinging. Not asked, demanded. I showed Emily at the table, poring over logs. She scoffed. Expected? They have no say past their sign. Tones off, I said. Emily eyed it. Not Margaret's writing. Someone savvy at pressure. Victor, I thought. She didn't say, but her look did. I pulled my files, surveys, plats, water maps from Grandpa's day, deed from when Harlan Ranch was raw frontier. Emily leaned in. Before more, review docs. Paper war? We're armed. Already in it, I said. We poured over. Deed private. Maps road ends at gate. Dam rights intact. Airtight. Emily tapped her pen. Reply with survey copies. Polite, factual, brief. No fuel for twists. I drafted, sent. Should have ended it. Didn't. 3 days later, fixing fence near south boundary, I spotted a black sedan creeping along. Margaret's style, bold yet prying. She stopped, window down, phone up like filming. Pointed at fence, trees, creek. I approached steadily. Morning. She smiled coldly. Mr. Harlan, checking shared boundary. Shared with who? Our community. Concerns on access, safety. Fence is an issue. Fence predates your HOA. You're not allowed here. She'd sked. Documenting for legal. We'll see. Smile vanished. She drove off, zooming on signs. That night, second envelope. Refusal obstructs development. Noncompliance may lead to action. Heat rose, not fear, fury at gall. Emily read. Bluffing. No plans here. Pine stops short. Why push? Control. Bad info fed. She snapped a photo. Logging as harassment. Next morning, escalation. Footprints by South Creek, brush bent. Trail cam. Margaret in sneakers, jacket, crossing fence, scouting. I took footage to Emily and Deputy Tom Riley. Tom watched twice, jaw set. Pushing boundaries not hers. Emily nodded. Testing limits before we hit back. Legally, Tom added. Always. Tom leaned in. Jack, Pines sniffing county office. Maps, road queries. Persistent. Heavier than thought. Not shortcut. Planning. Be ready, Tom said. I left with files, gut churning. HOA not just entitled, following agenda. Emily caught me outside. Not waiting. I'll run filings. If loophole, we seal it. Fast, she said coldly. The sheriff smiled when law's on her side. Didn't wait long for worse. 2 mornings after Tom's warning, south fence check. Red paint smeared on post, deliberate. Boot prints aimed inward. Trail cam. Margaret climbing, phone circling like measuring. Emily leaned to screen. Recon now. Paint. Marking claim. I printed, drove to Tom. He flipped photos. Criminal trespass. File. Not yet. Leverage. Let them push. He pointed at creek paws. Near Grandpa's dam rights. Touch ditch. Federal. As I left, Emily texted. Check mail. Box dented like bashed. Inside, letterhead. Your signage conflicts with access plans. Attend mediation or escalate. I gripped it in driveway. They built trail to corner me. Emily had maps out. Not shortcut. Look, county portal, Pines searches, road reclass, easement templates. Turning your road public. Arguing obstruction. Emily nodded. Narrative building. We walked creek. Photos, cords, disturbed branches. Stayed long, Emily said. Prints, heavier mail. More variables. Midway, orange survey tape on branch. Surveying boundaries to challenge. That evening, compiled. Photos, timestamps. Emily uploaded to system. Facts only. Around 9, barn lock, fresh track south spur. Heavier tires, off-road. Followed to creek fade. Emily at laptop. Someone tonight. Contractors later. This other. Working with HOA. Or above. Quiet fell. HOAs don't hire surveyors. Developers do. Now. Emily clicked shut. Prepare. Watch. Woke pre-dawn next. Instinct prickly. Porch. Red paint / driveway. This isn't over. Fresh. Mailbox twisted. Emily, footage. Scrubbed. 2:14 a.m. Sedan headlights off. Margaret out. Hood up. Bat swinging twice, then spraying. Emily grabbed jacket. Filing now. Too close. Tom's deputies handle. At station, Deputy Collins whistled. No hide. Mischief, trespass, vandalism, threat. File full, Emily said. Hours later, deputy update. Margaret in robe, ranting framed. Showed footage, she fainted. Taken on warrant. Relief sliver, short-lived. 3 mornings on, dog barked alert near back fence. Crested hill, for men in brush. Clipboard, wheel, paint, marking trees orange. Help you. Lead stiffened. Hired by Pines for expansion study. On my land. Told disputed. Phone out. Not. Deed shows. Called Emily. She arrived, badge out. Trespassing. Handed map. Ditch federal. Touch. Felony. Men paled. Didn't know. Told unclaimed. Warning. Leave. Pack quick. Emily touched tree mark. Resource points. Bigger than HOA. Developer? She nodded. Real money. Swallowed. After underground. Sarah took samples, logged. Log all. Next morning, ATV south. Wrong air. Tracks heavy. Contractor. Clearing. 3 men. Clipboard. Wheel. Probe in soil. Over them. Salt pepper hair. Clean shirt. Boots pristine. Paper pusher. Lost. Clipboard turned. Assessment for Pines. My land. Easement evaluation. No. Grandpa spillway. Clean shirt. Cooperate. HOA authority. No permit. He studied creek like paving it. Not boundaries. Resources. Emily arrived. Badge visible. IDs. Contracted surveyors. By who? Pines. Private property. Handed plat. Trespass. Probe. Interference. Throat bob. Didn't know. Now do. Leave or charges. Packed fast. Emily at rocks. Orange marks. Flow points. Drilling. Air gone. For what? She scanned. Under it. Voice called. Jack. Neighbor Bill Dawson approached. Heard this. Pulled paper. Board member bragging hardware store. Developer friend turned area profitable. Your obstacle. Unfolded. HOA memo. Preliminary assessment. Land acquisition resource development. Priority access Harlan Ranch subterranean. Emily confirms. Thereafter aquifer. Bill exhaled. Takeover. Emily folded. Changes all. Higher. Pause. Federal. But they moved first. Evening. Barn close. Engine. Black sedan. Margaret out. Jacket straight. Through fence. Think stopped us? Haven't slowed. Warning. Something coming from above her. Same night. Emily sorted docs. Plats. Memo. Photos. Confession. Steady. Someone feeding tactics. I nodded. Hired surveyors not fun. She fingered memo. Water under. Headlights. Not HOA. Nervous figure jogging gait. Laura Hayes. Pines Edge. Open quick. Clutched folder. Shouldn't hear. Saw something. Flipped. Confidential resource report. Prepared Victor Lang Group. Victor Lang. Developer. Laura nodded. Margaret didn't write. Victor off-record meetings. Consultant. Really running. Emily skimmed. Hydrozoning. Water resource ID pre-dig. Not road. Diagram. Zones. Wells flow. Spring-fed reservoir. Cleanest Montana. Creek visible. Under vault. Stomach dropped. Ranch atop. Bottle. Divert. Resort. Access land above. Everything clicked. Tactics. Letters. Trespass. Surveys. Water gold. Laura whispered. Victor pushed conflict for claim. Paint uncooperative. Emily snapped shut. Lost advantage. To state water. Drove county. Quiet. Emily knocked on call. Edgar Lanes, analyst. Laid out. Trespass. Surveys. Pressure. Developer manipulating. Edgar read. Serious. Pulled form. Freezing Pines filings. Flag for fraud. Audit trigger. Emily, needed. Edgar to me. Aquifer protected. Drill false. State, federal charges. Drive home. Emily, cornered. Victor doesn't like. Means. Next not subtle. Right. When HOA lose paper, switch to people. Lots. For our gate. Started text bill post breakfast. See Facebook. Link, Pines page. Banner, community walk public access. 10 a.m. Reclaim hours. Description, denied easement by hostile owner. Signs, cameras, voice. Media, led interim president Douglas Klein. Emily over shoulder. Spectacle, narrative me villain. Not happening. Radioed station, private, crowd, trespass potential. Tom, standby. Hold gate. 10:15, cars arrived. People out with signs, share road. Community first. Stop Harlan blockade. 10:30, 20 cars. News van, filming. Emily beside, uniform, shades. One emotional. Won't get. 10:45, sedan front. Douglas out, suit, hair combed. Strutted, arms wide. Here denied rightful access. Crowd clapped. Pointed us. Gate selfishness, greed. Emily forward. Trespassing. Road private. Turn. But Douglas for cameras. Step forward bold. One cross line. Then more. Emily radio, crossed. Response. Cruisers from Barn Road, lights. Instant freeze. Megaphone. Trespass. Back or action. Chaos. Scramble. Signs drop. Trip. Deputies to Douglas. Arrest unlawful assembly. Trespass. Ordinances. He laughed. Leader. Defendant. Cuffed. Emily to cameras. Private protected. No badge. Mob. Developer takes owned. Shift. Voice in chaos. Wait. Margaret pushed. Pale. Shaking. Talk. Why? Emily arms crossed. Because worse if not. Glance Emily, nod. Margaret close, low? Never wrote. Victor lied. After water. Aquifer. Push hostile for claim. Alone. Didn't know till reports. Steal all. Proof? Folder from bag. Stole board. Drill points creek. Bigger than March. Resource theft. We'll stop, Emily said. But Margaret. Victor not wait. Force tomorrow morning. Airtight. Hours away. Fight winning. New level. Crowd scattering. Emily motion porch. Inside. Peace before dawn. Dawn Victor's move. Table. Reports. Memos. Photos. Footage. Confession. Case file. Margaret doorway. Trembling. Not save me. Victor dangerous. Rigs before office open. Force. Deal legal later. Start pre-wake. Pre-stop. Emily keys. Leaving. State water. Courthouse. Judge today. But vehicle driveway. Black SUV. Not county. Emily front. Hand near badge. Door. Tall. Coat. Brass badge. Sheriff Harlan. Depends asking. Investigator Michael Ford. State water. Edgar forwarded. Emily no surprise. Ford pulled doc. Halt Pines filings. More. Email chain Victor HOA. Subject. Access secured. Extraction prep. Aquifer. Ford nodded. Shadow permit fraud. Manipulated boundaries. Elaborate illegal. Shut down, Ford said. Need statement, evidence. Have. Ford. Hearing noon federal commissioner. B. Another figure gate. Margaret. Folder. Rest docs. Notes, fraud drafts, contracts, plans. Ford skimmed, eyes wide. Nail coffin. Emily. Win. Ford. Bury legally. Gathered, headed state. Tense drive, no waste. Hearing room. Commissioner bench, stern. Harlan. Urgent evidence. Emily laid. Factual, devastating. Trespass, vandalism, surveys, mapping, false reports, manipulated filings, hydro theft, dawn drill. Commissioner listen blank. Bring accused. Victor in, suit pricey, annoyed. Commissioner held report. Authorize surveys. Conceptual. File permit. Review. Pressure HOA conflict justify claim. Victor mouth open, Margaret forward. Did. There. Make difficult, step in. Victor drained. Commissioner to Ford. Recommend. Audit, fraud, theft, trespass, protect ranch conservation. So ordered. Breath out. Emily squeezed arm. Victor lunged. Can't keep forever. Progress swallows you. Emily front. Law swallows you. Cuffed out. Margaret lost, empty. Never this far. Emily, help finish right. Ruling echoed. War ending. But final judgment state water decide permanent or loophole. Drove from court to office. Me passenger, Margaret back, Ford tailing. Tension resolve. Glass doors, clerk to conference. Director Elias Grant, silver hair. Fair blunt. Reviewed. Plats, Decree 73, testimony, report, drill points, theft. Emily, organized deliberate. Access protected groundwater commercial. Grant nodded. Ford placed folder. Minutes, directives, deception. Grant skimmed. Damning. To Margaret, add. Wrong, soft. True. Grant, law cares done. Seated. Silence heavy. Grant folded hands. 1. Nullify Pines filings immediate. 2. Fine HOA surveying, harassment, fraud fund. 3. Bar Victor resubmit. Prohibit extraction, 10 miles. 4. Harlan Ranch permanent conservation. No drill. Survey without state approve. Grip table. Emily froze. Permanent. Locked forever. Land yours. Water yours. None touch. Grandpa's legacy solid. Margaret covered face. Grant. Miss Voss. Head up. Wrong. Thought protect values. Destroy in others. To me, sorry. Nod. Acknowledgement. Concludes. Ranch protected. Victor charges. Adjourned. Hallway, chest loosened. Weeks tension gone. Outside, field sent. Safe land, over fight. Took Emily's hand. Squeezed. Good. Better, I said. Ford shook. Honor. Few fight win. Not alone. Margaret hesitated. Pines now. Emily gentle. New board, priorities. She nodded, drove away. Changed. Home to ranch. Gate started all, land untouchable. Truck out, windmill spun, creek ran. Same, but different. After calls, lies, threats, reports, vandals, surveyors, plans, march, courtroom, one truth tall. HOA tried take land, but law and wife louder. End. If this story stirred something in you about standing against injustice or the hidden violence in everyday battles over what's right, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you faced something similar? Take a stand. Express your view on how we handle unfairness in life. Your stories keep the conversation going.